Let's do a relatively simple one while still having a bit of complexities in there. So maybe this piece right here. I'm going to go ahead and isolate it with a / on the number pad. And let's go ahead and mark our seams. So like I said, we go to select sharp edges, and then we mark the seams from here. So Control E and mark the seam. Now what we need to do is work backwards, just as we've been doing. So as you can see, I don't actually have any faces here in the back, so we don't have to worry about those. Any edges connected to an empty face you do not need to worry about because it treats it as a seam. You can kind of imagine, notice how we have a pretty obvious seam right here, but if I deleted the face, I mean, you can't see the seam anymore because it doesn't exist. There's nothing here. So any areas where you don't have faces, you do not need to worry about. Okay, so the question is, which areas can I unmark? I'd encourage you to pause the video here and give this one a try because this one's pretty simple. So I'll give you like 3 seconds before we do the solution here. Okay, so at this point you should understand that basically along any continuous set of faces, once we encounter a seam, we can remove it. So we're going to remove this seam right here, and we're going to remove this seam right here. Awesome. And we can do the same exact thing to these areas. We can unmark these seams, and we can also unmark these seams right here, just like that. Now the question is, can we unmark anywhere else? And the answer to that is probably not. We could try unmarking the seam inside here, but you're going to see sometimes it gets a little bit too warped, so in that case we're just going to leave the seam there. And I think this is about as far as we're going to get. I could try unmarking this one, but I think we're going to have a very similar issue. It's just going to be way too warped, so we're going to leave all the seams here on these edges just as they are. So that's it. That was literally all we had to fix. Everything else is good here. And you're going to see we have a very, very clean unwrap, very consistent. So let's go ahead and stop here.